I'd first like to introduce to you these candidates, beginning from the far end. Trey Gowdy is currently solicitor of the 7th Judicial Circuit, which includes Spartanburg and Cherokee counties. He graduated Baylor University in 1986 with a degree in history and the University of South Carolina School of Law. Gowdy has worked for a federal judge, Nelson Mullins, Riley and Scarborough, and the United States Attorney's Office, where he had a decorated career as a drug and violent crime prosecutor. Gowdy took office as solicitor in 2001 and oversees an office of 30 attorneys who handle over 9,000 criminal cases a year. He is married to Terry Dillard Gowdy. They have 2 children, Watson, 17, and Abigail, 13, and 2 dogs, Judge and Jury. Ladies and gentlemen, Trey Gowdy. State Senator David Thomas represents District 8 in the South Carolina Senate. Prior to that, he served as a city councilman and mayor pro tem. He resides in Fountain Inn with his wife, Fran. They just celebrated their 25th anniversary last year. Senator David Thomas has a wealth of experience in reforming state and local government. In Columbia, he's led the fight on landmark welfare reform, led the fight to give residential property tax relief to citizens, sponsored one of the toughest ID theft laws in the nation. In 1999, Senator Thomas organized and founded the Litter Task Force, known by most as Palmetto Pride. In 2003, he sponsored the Predatory Lending Act that protects South Carolinians from unscrupulous lenders. As chairman of banking and insurance, he has worked on health care reform through legislation called HealthNet. Ladies and gentlemen, David Thomas. Dr. Christina Jeffrey is an Army brat, as she likes to put it, who claims the land of her forebears as her native state. Her father was born in South Carolina, graduated from the Citadel, and went to war. Her grandfather fought in World War I. Her South Carolina ancestor, William Murray, was a quartermaster in the Revolutionary War. On her mother's side, she is descended from the ancestors of William Wallace and Alexander Hamilton. She lives in Spartanburg with her Wofford College husband and Wofford student daughter. She lectures at Wofford on the Constitution, the Declaration, American government, and public policy. She was the historian of the U.S. House of Representatives for the 104th Congress. She earned her M.A. and doctorate in political science at the University of Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Christina Jeffrey. Jim Lee is a resident of Malden in Greenville County. He and his wife Laurie have 5 children ranging in age from 15 to 27 and 1 daughter-in-law. Jim is an Air Force veteran and an active member of the Air Force Reserve with 30 years of service in the area of cryptology and intelligence. He is an elder at West Side Church in Simpsonville. Jim's professional experience includes over 25 years of increasing responsibility and leadership in business and information technology management and consulting. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Lee. As you see, Bob Inglis is not with us tonight. Bob has sent a statement that he asked that we read in his behalf, and I'll have that for you now. It reads, "I wish I could be in Union this evening, enjoying an exciting discussion on the way forward for Union, for South Carolina, and for America. As it is, I'm in Washington trying to prevent a wrong turn on health care. I'm sure that all of my competitors will agree that I am where I should be, working to keep health care private, to prevent an unsustainable expansion of the federal government, and to restore adherence to the Constitution. Right now, members of the Republican Conference are reaching out to Democrats, trying to find or shore up 38 no votes to add to the solid 178 no votes in the Republican Conference. Thankfully, a small band of pro-life Democrats is holding firm. I've got several personal friends in that group, and I and many others have been encouraging them to stay strong. I've had fruitful conversations with another thoughtful Democrat who has his doubts about the bill. I'm hopeful that these contacts will bear fruit in time for tomorrow's vote. Keep the faith." Signed, Bob Inglis. We are also tonight having our debate broadcast live via the facilities of WBCU Radio. To our broadcast audience, I welcome you as well, and thank you to WBCU for performing this public service to make sure that those who are unable to attend in person are able to hear what is happening tonight. Now, candidates, what we're going to do is it's going to be a bit informal. I have a stopwatch with me, but I promise you I'll use it as little as possible. What we're going to do, we'll alternate who goes first. we will give you about a minute to give your answer to each question. Now, we will also allow some time for rebuttal. If there's something that you feel like you very strongly need to bring up about something another candidate said perhaps, we're going to give you an opportunity to do that. But we will reach a point where we're finished with that question. I'll tell you when we've reached that time, and we'll move on to the next issue. But so far as rebuttal goes, you've got microphones there. You can join in, and I'm sure everyone will have a chance to say what you need to say. I have a personal challenge to you tonight. We happen to be together on the last day of Sunshine Week. Each year, the media uses this week to re-emphasize the importance of government doing the public's business in public, being transparent. This past Sunday, the Spartanburg Herald-Journal ran an article in the perspective section, page B1, that contained a statement I thought we would find useful tonight. It was an article with the headline, "Transparency Alone Isn't Enough." In that article, Douglas Lee of the First Amendment Center makes this observation about our nation. And we'll kind of use this to set things up for this evening. Douglas Lee writes, "The problems we face by any measure and from any political perspective are almost paralyzing. 2 wars, exploding budget deficits, systematic under- and unemployment, decaying infrastructure, flawed education and healthcare systems, a warming climate, threats from terrorists around the world, and financial institutions that are too big to fail, too powerful to regulate. Naturally, we've looked to our elected officials for solutions. Instead of solutions, however, we've primarily found bitter partisanship, a lack of political courage, and selfish deference to special interests." That written by Douglas Lee of the First Amendment Center. This article goes on to make points about the importance of transparency. Now, I think the statement I've just shared with you is a pretty accurate, though worrisome summation of what we are facing in the United States. On top of that, no one in South Carolina knows better than the good folks of Union County the betrayal and shame of government corruption. This county's unemployment rate is 22.1%. That January figure is 4th highest in the state, an increase of 1.1% from December. It represents more than 2,700 people without a job out of a workforce of about 12,300. At a time when these people really need their government to be on their side, as we like to say at News Channel 7, a number of government officials are accused of flat out breaking the law, padding their own pockets. Candidates, the residents of this county and the others you would represent in Congress need and deserve better. They need positive, forward-thinking, responsive leadership from you. In tonight's debate, they need for you to be clear, concise, straightforward in explaining what you would do and how you would vote on the various issues. What makes you different, unique, more qualified as a candidate for the 4th District Congressional seat, and how you would work to make life better for the people here in Union County and across your district. That is the challenge that I and we make to you tonight. With that, we welcome you. We thank all of you for being here tonight. We look forward to hearing what you have to say. Now, we're going to get started.